Boys, I have been fiending for a grind. I've been straight ejaculating at the thought of going to sleep thinking about a game, waking up thinking about a game, playing the game. Oh, and here's the kicker, it being fun. But it's 2025 and that is really, really hard to come by. But there has always been a lingering thought at the back of my mind that World of Warcraft is this game for me. But as a dapper little boy at the age of 23, I just think I'm a bit too young for this game. You see, I thought World of Warcraft was just a benefit that you got with Medicare, but apparently you can just go download it. Now, as I was downloading the game, my hairline already started to recede, but I think it's all going to be worth it, as I'm pretty sure this game will remove my need to leave the house. When you're finally in the game, the first major decision you have to make is which server you want to play on. I'm just goofing. You can still play with people and join guilds from other servers, so what is the point of having dedicated servers? I don't know. So I guess the first real big decision you have to make is whether or not you want to be a part of the Horde or the Alliance. These are the rival factions in the game that have been competing since the game's inception. So you really need to commit to whatever choice you make. It's very important. I'm just goofing. Nowadays, you can actually do the same content, join the same guilds, and even PvP together. So what's the point in having two different factions? I don't know. Probably lore. Either way, the Alliance seemed kind of gay, so I'm going Horde. So that just leaves me with my class and my race. And for my class, the only real option is Mage because I like slinging spells around. Now, I'm pretty sure your race actually does something in the game, and I'm pretty sure that Troll is like the stereotypical Mage race. But regardless, I'm gonna go Blood Elves because they're hot. And as we start the game, I have to admit something. I will be promptly skipping past every single cutscene and reading no dialogue at all, as I am officially 31 years behind on Warcraft lore, and I'll probably just watch a 1-hour YouTube video recapping it. Except I didn't skip past the cutscene where the Lich King dies, because I knew it was a big deal and it was sick as fuck. But anyway, the first 10 levels are like on a tutorial island type situation, and it actually does a very good job at introducing you to the very basic mechanics of the game, like how to press a button or click on guy with question mark. But after you're done with this, you can choose whatever zone you want to go to and you can quest and do dungeons. Luckily for me, there's an event going on right now called Time Walking, where I get to do old dungeons and I get currency and it gives me more XP and I can use the currency to buy old cool stuff. So that means it is time to lock in. If I know anything about MMOs, the leveling experience is going to be a grueling, grinding, rewarding process. Bink. Okay, so I'm level 80 now. That took about 17 hours. And literally the only thing of note that happened was I gained more buttons. I'm not even joking. I tried going back, looking at the recording, looking through my notes. Nothing happened until I was level 80. In fact, I leveled up so fast that I would read the new abilities that I got. I would forget what they did by the time I got the next abilities, and it just became a mess. Which was really disappointing, but not at all surprising because, guys, I have to come clean. I've been lying to you. I have played this game before. In fact, I am probably the most experienced new World of Warcraft player of all time. You see, I've had a brother who's been playing since vanilla, and he's always tried to get me to play the game, and occasionally I would dabble. I think the first time I tried the game was during Mista Pandaria. I was like 10 years old. I only got to the end of the free trial. I tried again in Legion, and I ended up doing the same thing, and I really regret it because people will say like, oh, Legion was the last great World of Warcraft expansion. But the next time I tried was during BFA, during quarantine. I had nothing else to do, so I actually did end up getting to Endgame. Now, I accomplished absolutely nothing in the endgame because all I wanted to do was to be able to fly, and to do that I had to get Pathfinder, and I spent like 100 hours trying to do it, didn't get it, gave up. I tried the game again in Dragonflight, but same story, didn't really do anything. I also tried the game again at the beginning of the War Within, and also just gave up. But somewhere between all of this, Wrath of the Lich King Classic came out, and I have watched a lot of WoW content creators over the years, and the general consensus of the WoW community and the WoW content creators is that Wrath is a very beloved expansion, which means I finally had the opportunity to experience World of Warcraft when it was in one of its greatest forms. And when I played Wrath Classic, it took me about 300 hours to hit max level. I was probably doing it very inefficiently, but the world felt so alive. There were people running around everywhere. You actually had to go places and do things. And even though the leveling took me that long, it was the most fun part about the game. It was genuinely one of my favorite experiences on an MMO ever. And I know that people did not like Wrath Classic. I don't really know why. I'm sure it was somehow different than the beginning one, but this is the only one I know, so I can't really speak to all that. But the reason I bring all of this up is because the retail leveling experience is like a slap in the face to all of that. I can understand someone having to level to max the first time they ever play the game, but beyond that, if you're trying to make an alt, there is like no reason to even level in the game because it's so quick. It's no longer even an experience in the game. So at this point, I don't even get why alt characters don't just start at level 80. I'm not saying that's how it should be, but if they've gone this far to destroy the leveling experience, might as well, you know? I'm assuming for people who are actually experienced in leveling and can do it really fast, leveling is probably just like a captcha to making an alt for them. But alas, maybe the end game will actually make up for this misfortune. Okay, issue number 1. I'm currently on the last 2 weeks before the next major patch, and there's about 15 different events going on right now, and I have no idea which ones are worth doing and which ones aren't worth doing. I could try to get the new Diablo cosmetics, or I could farm rep because there's a double rep event going on right now. Or I could try doing this event where there's enemies in Orgrimmar and I have to kill them and then get the stuff and then do it again. Or I could farm time walking dungeons and try to get some of the old cosmetic stuff you can buy. Or I could use this time to utilize the event going on right now where all the old dungeons and raids have increased drop chances for like everything. And I know there's some mounts people have been trying to get for years, so that would be really good to do right now. But I think what's most efficient and what makes the most sense is for me to farm reps, since that's something that's current and I think I need. But when I logged on to farm the rep, I accidentally ended up doing a lot of the old raids trying to get mounts. I ended up getting these 3 cool dragons. I actually already had the Rivendare's Death Charger. I remember years and years ago, I accidentally got it from a random dungeon the first attempt, and my brother saw it in my inventory and he was questioning me on how I got it. And it turns out this was actually a relatively rare mount, but it's kind of obsolete now that you can get it in just a few attempts. But with that out of the way, I decided it was time to actually start farming rep, which the best way of doing that is to do every single side quest in the entire expansion. Just like with a lot of the other content in this game, you just kind of go autopilot and click on stuff. So that's what I did, and the one thing of note that happened when I was doing this is I saw what I thought was a slot machine. And after thinking they added gambling to this game, I was ready to give it a 10 out of 10 and that be that. I was just sitting there clicking on it thinking I was spinning trying to win something, and it turns out it was a vending machine. But hold on, each drink is worth 1.3 gold, and the WoW token is only worth 293,807 gold, meaning that if each drink only takes 1 second to get, I only need to do this for 157 days straight in order to get a free WoW token. Well, now that I leaked that info, I'm so sorry to the people who are currently exploiting it, because Blizzard will be nerfing it soon. Anyways, after doing every single quest in the entire expansion, I am still far from where I need to be. And as far as I know, the only way to get rep from here is to do time-gated world quests. So from here, I guess all I can do is mythics, but no one will invite me to a mythic, I think because my score is 0, maybe? So I guess there is nothing left for me to do until the next patch comes out Tuesday, which I will be streaming live on Twitch, so check that out. But I feel like I got a pretty good handle on the game, like I kind of know what's going on with a lot of stuff. Except for professions, I spent about 20,000 gold getting my tailoring and enchanting up to level 65, and I have no idea what to do from there because I don't know what they're even good for. And it seems that I'm missing about 50,000 knowledge points, so I'll get back to you when I have more than 7. Also, what the fuck are these stupid ass battle pet things? Do people who play the game even do this? It is the jankiest kind of Pokemon thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But besides those two things, I feel like I kind of know what's going on right now, and not gonna lie, it does kind of scare me a little bit. Because much like what's happening Tuesday, there is a gear reset multiple times in expansion, which does seem kind of weird and kind of rings some bells, but I don't know, I just got here. I guess I'll find out soon, but it seems to me the only gameplay loop is to do the mythics and the raids until the next gear reset, where it really slows down at the end of the season, and then do it all again the next season, and then do that a few times until the next expansion, which who knows, it might blow my mind, but in theory, it sounds very not mind-blowing. And this game also seems weirdly dead, but I know that it's not, and I think it's the game's fault, because every single time I go to Dornogal, it is bursting at the seams with people, but the only thing in chat is a bunch of bot spam, and anytime I fly out of Dornogal, there is no one, it's just a desolate wasteland, like I don't know where the people are. And I'm assuming they're doing this so that way outside of the big cities, you don't have to fight for resources or mobs or whatever, but I would way rather do that than the game just feel completely dead. And I guess the last little complaint I have is something that I think is unique to World of Warcraft, but I'm not really sure. I don't have any examples outside of it. They let you make whatever add-ons you want, and it's really easy to download any of them, and in theory that sounds amazing. And sometimes it is, like with Bagnon, you can combine all of your bags into one little menu. But when I stop to think about it, I feel like this should just be an option in the game already, and add-ons are just an excuse for the Blizzard to be lazy. That's bad, but I guess it's whatever. My biggest complaint with the add-ons are some of them just feel like straight up cheating. Like with deadly boss mods or weak auras or GTFO, it just makes a lot of the boss fights feel really stupid. Like when the boss is getting ready to do something, there'll be an alarm, there'll be text on the screen, and there'll be like a little AI voice saying, run away. If you use these things combined with a single button rotation thing, you literally no longer have to play the game. And I feel like some people might just say, oh, well, if you don't like it, don't use it. But deadly boss mods has 560 million downloads, meaning that everyone that plays the game uses it, and they expect you to use it, meaning that if you don't use it, you're just the weakest link. I personally think the game would be a lot more fun and challenging if Blizzard just completely disabled add-ons, and the quality of life add-ons like Bagnon, they should just add to the game. But anyways, it feels like I've just been hating on the game the entire video, but I am actually having a lot of fun with it, and I do plan to continue to keep playing. It's just some of the issues seem so self-inflicted by Blizzard, and it's so frustrating. I can only imagine how the people feel who've been playing the game for like 20 years. It kinda just feels like that about half the player base left when the game stopped feeling like old World of Warcraft, and half the player base stayed because they liked the changes. And now Blizzard's scared to make any big changes because they're scared they're gonna lose half their player base again. But they need to do something to get new players soon, because I feel like their old player base is dying off from dementia and other old related illnesses. But hey, like I said, even after all of that, I'm still enjoying the game. Also, dragon riding is so much better than what they used to have, and it's so much fun. You can use these abilities to fly faster while you're flying, and you can also use momentum. Oh, it's so cool. I'm very excited for the new update coming Tuesday, and who knows, this might serve as a good enough waiting room for the Riot MMO. And like I said, I'm gonna be streaming the new update when it comes out. I'm live almost every single day. Make sure to check that out. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Yeah, see ya.